Okay, hello everyone. I apologize. I left at 11:53 and I'm back now, later than I thought it would be. So yeah, we're still back, I think, for the regular amount of time though. But I should have paid attention to the scheduling a little bit better. Hey, Alton. But yeah, where we left off is we got to check in what I've done. Hey, Steven. Which was getting... Oh, I also left in some printouts. But yeah, we got the idle animation and the walk animation to work. So yeah, we can't do anything in the game, but hey, we got this stuff. So that's pretty nice. Hey, Laxon. So we will check this in, and then we'll start working on some of the other parts of this. Yeah, this animation tool I'm kind of interested in trying out. We didn't actually use this yet, so I'll just delete this. I'm interested in trying out because I don't know what will come in handy the most. So in terms of animations that I used, we have a new character over here, top-down shooter. Okay, all of this is mostly fine. I don't want this here, and I don't want it to print the animation. Yeah, there we go. All right, so let's search for res slash. And I want to find out what do we use. We used idle gun down. Oh, that shouldn't be there. Yeah, that shouldn't be there. Is that because the sprite uses it? It is because the sprite uses it. All right, that should be idle gun. And this should be an 8. Doesn't matter. I guess it gets deleted. But as long as we save this. Now that should be gone from here. It's still being used. What? Why? What is happening with that? Oh, I never changed that single animation. Did I? No, I apparently did. What is happening then? Why is idle gun down still showing up here? The sprite has it as its texture. I just changed that. Oh, maybe it's in reset. Yeah, it's in reset. Okay, my bad. Yeah, this is sometimes pretty confusing. All right, now it should no longer be used. Great. Okay, so all we need is idle gun and walk gun. And I don't know how to find these quickly. I guess here, idle gun and walk gun. And then their import files as well. This should work. Hey, Diginanigans. How you doing? All right, nice. Now we check in this and this as well. Anything else? Nope, I think it's good. All right, so add player to top-down shooter. You can walk around and idle. There is nothing else yet. All right, now something we could do is delete all the other graphics that we're not using. Yeah, so these, for example, and these. Good. Hey, Bakari and Vipov. Working on some lighting and post-processing stuff now. Nice, 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 nice. Yeah. Yeah, I'm working on foundational stuff. I feel like lighting and post-processing is more polished stuff. Although that could be foundational depending on what you want as your aesthetic. All right, so we check this in. Now I want to have a tool for creating animations. So I mentioned this earlier. I'm not totally sure what I want this to do. Did I write this down? I had some instructions somewhere. Yeah, here it was. So what's my ideal thing? Like, I guess let's just think about it in terms of what's my scenario right now. What's my scenario right now? And that scenario is I have other animations that I want to add that are remarkably similar to this. So let's say we added in, let's say idle spear. Yeah. So like I want to add idle spear in 6 directions. Not all of these are going to be the exact same size. What else do we have here? Run, gun. Are there more frames for this? No, there's the same number. 8 by 8, yeah. Possibly every single one of these is the same amount. I mean, I don't want to look through every one of them, so let's just look at a few more maybe. Yep, the same. They didn't need to do this. Yeah, everything seems to be 8 frames. Yeah, I don't see a single example of one that isn't. Oh, some of these have 8 directions? Oh, God. Oh, no. I guess we could always just ignore the other two. Wait a sec. Is there even a difference between right and right down? And left down and left? No, they look the same. Where do we even have those directions? Here, for example. Okay, let's load these up and just see if we can notice a difference. So here's right and here's right down. Are they slightly different? But I feel like it's got to not be in any meaningful way, right? Like the character looks the same. It's just the gun that looks different. Let me load these up. So this is the difference, and it's where their gun is pointing. I don't think this matters. Yeah, I don't think this matters. Maybe I'm playing around the lighting post processing just because I don't feel like working on the complex stuff now. I see. Get the weird bug figured out. I filed a repro. How do I find this? I guess we'll just search for it on the GitHub. Their GitHub. Yeah, here. Yeah, I'll paste it in the chat in case you're curious. But I ended up finding a repro. I don't think there's been any. Yeah, there hasn't been any comment from Godot team yet. But yeah, it took a lot of time. So I'm happy that we at least have this. I hope it gets worked on. If not, well, I did my part. All right, I want to add idle spear in 6 directions. So pretty much what it comes down to is I want to specify maybe like the name endings. I want to specify a spreadsheet. Or a path to a sprite. Super King, thanks for the sub. Also, someone else subscribed earlier, Corgi Backwards, Aproc. But I don't know if they're here right now. But yeah, thank you both. I appreciate it. Yeah, very nice. So a path to a sprite. In this pack's case, all animations are in a single sprite, but often they're in different files. So I'd have something like this, run gun. So copy path. Have you made more from Skeleseller or your lifelong streaming career? I have made more from Skeleseller. Lifelong streaming career has been very little money. Yeah. And that's not to say that Skeleseller made a ton. Just, yeah, I don't tend to make a lot of money streaming. Yeah, thank you, GK. And hi. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I will say reviews do help. Whether or not people liked the game, just leaving some more reviews is probably a good idea. They've been trending downward lately. Like this says 83% positive in the last 30 days. I think partially just because a lot of positive ones got knocked off the list. Unless there's a new, no, there aren't any new ones. Yeah, none that I haven't seen. I mean, a lot of the newest ones are like, hey, the price is not great. So yeah, this person wanted the game to be longer, lacks content for the price. This is almost entirely complaining about the price. This complained about the price. This complained about the price. Like I'm gonna lower the price, and I actually posted a news article about it. This one I was surprised by. They said that they hit a bug that I've never heard of before, and then they just never followed up. Like I wanted to know what their issue exactly was. I still don't know what it was. So yeah, that one is new. Yeah, price. Everyone's mad about the price. So Yeah, that's where I made a post saying, did I respond to this? Oh, good. Yeah, I looked at this. I made a post somewhere. I don't know where you find this. No, yeah, here it is. Yeah, saying I'm going to lower the price, but I don't know. Maybe that'll stop some of the reviews. How long did it take you to get used to blank keycaps? I tried to do that, but had to abandon it, considering trying again. Not too long because I already could type without looking at the keyboard. So I would say to just act like you have blank keycaps right now. Just like don't look down. And if it works, then yeah, you can get actual blank keycaps. Shouldn't really lower price because of reviews. €7 or whatever it is very cheap already. I think I'm going to though. Like more than half of the reviews complain about the price. The negative reviews, I mean. And even some of the positive ones are like, oh, I'd like for there to be more content. But there isn't going to be more content. And I don't want people just complaining about the price over and over. I don't get why. If I were buying a new game, like at some point, wouldn't I just look at the reviews and be like, oh, hey, look, these people are all playing for like 4 hours. I don't know why they're thinking like they only just started or something. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, it's for Mac. I'll buy it now. You don't have to if you don't want to. But yes, it is for Mac. I developed it on a Mac. Hey, Ultramark. Hey, Monsters. People always whining about the price. I don't think people always whine about the price. I think if you charge $1 for a game, probably no one's going to say this is too expensive unless they just really hated the game. But like no one complained about Vampire Survivors. At least it didn't seem like it. Not at least the price. That'll teach Adam. That will teach me. I'll just keep lowering it, getting everybody angry, even myself. So path to a sprite. I mean, we could just develop a tool for this right now. Maybe like we have a version that says from one sprite sheet, generate everything. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. Honestly, even just maybe duplicating. Yeah, I don't know what I want to do. Maybe making a tool is a dumb idea and just having AI do it once is a better idea. I just don't like this grunt work that goes into this. All right, well, let's still come up with a scenario here. So we have this run gun. This is in 8 directions though. So now we would need to specify the rows that contain particular directions. In the case of run gun.png, there are 8 directions. So I need to specify which is which. And then I got to specify the directions. I need to specify the direction suffixes and what it would do. Promise for $4. All right, thank you. And thanks for the purchase. You certainly didn't have to. I hope you enjoy. So what it would do is modify animation player to add in all directions with the right names, then modify animation tree to make it work. Worked for a while, followed from several raids. Oh, nice. I guess raids do still have an effect. And I still want to raid out at the end of my streams. I feel like raids have definitely changed over time. I used to be a bigger deal. I found out, I think there's raiding on YouTube. I don't think I knew that. And I don't know how to do it. They're like a... live redirect. That's 4 years ago. How did I never know about this? I guess I don't ever watch live streams. Huh. Interesting. Raid is quite a gamer term. Yeah, it is. I mean, I think it comes from MMORPGs, but yeah, in real life, it definitely means something different. All right, modify animation tree to make it work. This is so specific to how many directions we have. Honestly, you know what might be better? Maybe what's better is just having a template animation and being able to generate new animations based on that template. I mean, this is kind of what we're doing here. We have like idle gun down. We set this up, and then I wanted to just generate the rest of them for me. Yeah, so now our input would be idle gun down may be the input. And then we specify the directions in order in the sprite sheet. Never knew that was a thing. Yeah, I was watching someone play Skeleseller, and at the end of their stream, they were like, okay, I'm going to send you to someone else now. And that's when I found out about it. So this was like a week ago that I found out. Yeah, I do think there's more engagement on the Twitch side, at least for me, for sure. Like I keep YouTube chat open, but just rarely do people type there. And part of this is by design. I have it set so that I think you need to be a subscriber for like 20 minutes because the level of quality of YouTube chat is way lower than Twitch chat to begin with. I'd get a bunch of people coming in here and just like nonstop asking questions about meaningless things, and I was like, I don't want to deal with it. So now there's a tax to pay if you're gonna type on YouTube. Even when I'm in chat, even when you're in chat, quality goes up when you're in chat. Ultramark, not down. So yeah, I'm concerned that if I do have this thing make a tool, that it'd be a very, very specific tool. And yeah, I don't know how helpful it would be if it is that specific. Because we end up duplicating this, which you can't through this. This is sometimes annoying. There we go. Okay, so you duplicate this, you type in a new name. So you have something like run gun down. And then we'd pick a different texture and everything. We'd set all this up ourselves. And then I wanted to make all the other animations. So change all the frames. Yeah, I guess this is probably the most generic thing. This seems like a good idea. The bar is low. Sorry, I was bringing the bar down. I didn't want to tell you. Okay, so how do we do this? So I specify the name of an existing animation and I guess the scene that it's in. And it would do this, like make new animations, the directions that I want in order in the sprite sheets. Or the names of sprite sheets. How do we do this for the farming game? Wait, they're all in one? Oh. Is that true for everybody? Wait a second. Is that true for everybody? Oh, well, would you look at that? Pretty much is. Okay, yeah, so not the names of sprite sheet. So the directions that I want in order in the sprite sheet. And that's pretty much it, right? Yeah, so then I would make new animations and then set up a new... Well, that could just be one tool that we do. And then we could say this, make a new thing here based on what we already had. So I guess there are two different things. Hey, Army of Toasters, welcome in. So scenario number one, I want to set up new animations in an animation tree. I specify the name of an existing animation, the scene that it's in, the direction names that I want, and then it finds the animation player that contains that animation, creates creates new animations using the directions that I specified. And that's it. So that's all that would do. So pretty much I would do this. I would say I have idle gun down. So for example, idle gun down. Well, I probably should specify the name that or the scene that it's in, right? Yeah, that probably makes more sense. Yeah, the scene that it's in. So I specify this. I specify top down shooter player.tscn. And then the direction names, which would be, well, I guess we just directions, right? So what is it? It goes it goes clockwise. So it goes left down, left up, up, up. No, right up, right down. Yeah, so that's what I have to specify. And then it would just do all this stuff. Great. So now scenario 2 is I want to set up a new animation. What is this thing called? Where did this go? Blend space 2D. Blend space 2D node, I think. I don't fully remember the name of this. Animation node blend space 2D. Yeah, this. I want this. Okay. So I specify what in this case? The scene again. Yeah, the scene. And the name of a similar animation blend space 2D node. Yeah, so for example, I specify this, and I specify idle gun. And then what would it do? It makes a new one of these. And then within it, it sets up animations following the same direction names from the given one. Yes. Okay. I think this is good. So this is my plan. Hey, Galaxy Inferno, how's your day going? Whoop, everything just got messed up. My plan.md. There we go. All right, so let's just delete the txt file. Wait, no, it still got messed up. Why is this happening? Oh, man. That's not good. Yeah, I want it to look like this. I guess I'll just type it in here. Yeah, whatever. Okay. So now I want to make a tool that does this. I don't actually want to make the tool, though. I'm just going to have AI do this. Yeah. So let me just specify the whole thing. So pretty decent. Don't tell anyone. Went on a little road trip. Lodgings are quite nice. Hoping for a successful day tomorrow. Are you still on the road trip? And I think I just told everyone. What have I done? Cool to watch people do audio visual stuff. Yeah, this in particular that I'm working on right now is just so tedious to do by hand. Like, look at this. I have 6 animations because there's 6 directions, and that's for just idle. And that's with a gun in your hand. Then we have 6 for walking with a gun in your hand. Now we need 6 idle for having a spear in your hand. 6 walking for having a spear in your hand. Then shooting, then running, then dashing. I'm just sick of this. So I don't want to keep adding these by hand. I want a tool to do this. I don't actually want to make the tool myself because it's very boring. Not even mirroring. Well, we can mirror some of them, but these are actually, I think, like hand drawn for each individual direction. I didn't actually verify that. But the way I look at it is if they give me specific directions, I'll just use the specific directions. Are they mirrored? They might be. No, they are different. Yeah, because you can see both of her hands when she's facing right, but when she's facing left, you can only see one hand. So yeah, they aren't mirrored. Although if you did mirror them, I think it'd look fine. Yeah. Have to drive back home tomorrow. Oh, I see. Okay, so that's a successful day part. Yeah. Tried to check it on the earlier stream, but road internet was horrible. Well, there wasn't very much going on in the earlier stream. I'll show you the entirety of the progress in like 10 seconds. You ready? This is it. We got some basic animations. So you can walk around in 6 different directions and you can idle in those directions. And that's all we have. And there's collision with this wall up here. But that's it. Next gen. Next gen indeed. 6D. Yeah, I would still say you're on a road trip. That's at least how I look at it. It includes the stops. Because like if I took a road trip around the whole country and I spent whatever, 3 weeks, I wouldn't consider myself to not be on it when I stop at the first hotel. Seems plenty for what, a 3-hour time frame? Yeah, roughly 3 hours. The first hour, it was actually 4 hours, but the first hour I was spending just making sure that I was getting the right assets. Because one of the things I tried out was I want to use, I think, these monster graphics. They're not individual, unique frames. You can just see it's like squashing and stretching the frames. So that's what I was a little concerned about. Like, is this going to look fine? And then I mocked it up. I don't have the mock-up anymore. But I mocked it up and I was like, yeah, this looks okay. They'll just like trudge toward you. It's fine. You always leave me satisfied. Thanks, Jim. Okay, so I want to make a tool for modifying animations in Godot because they're so tedious to do by hand. There are 2 main scenarios that this tool should accommodate. All right, so what do we say here? Overview. So the tool should run. Well, actually, should it run as a standalone thing or should it maybe just be built into Godot? Maybe it could be built into Godot. Ideally, the tool would run from Godot itself. Possibly as a plugin, plan this out and see if that makes sense. I definitely don't want to be spending the time on this. Scenarios. So there are 2 main scenarios that this tool should accommodate. I guess we can just write in the overview. I guess I don't even need to write an overview. All right, so scenario 1. I want to set up new animations in an animation tree. The tool would have me specify the name of an existing animation, e.g. idle gun down, the scene that it's in, e.g. top down shooter player, cool. If AI does the hard parts, aren't we the tool? You're saying I. We drop the A, just I. Intelligence is the tool. So the way I look at this, my actual take is I think you always do need to keep in mind what is your goal with doing anything. So as an example, like let's say your goal is to get an A in a class. Cheating could be a totally reasonable way of solving that. If your goal is to do everything in an above board way, then cheating would not be a way of solving that, right? Or I want to learn the material, then you shouldn't cheat. With AI, it's like, do you want the tool? Do you want the output? Or do you want the path to that tool or the output? Do you want to learn it for yourself? In this case, it's just modifying animations. This is a speed bump in my mind. So I definitely just want this done. And writing a tool myself, I just don't think it'd be worth the effort. Problem, need money. Solution, rob a bank. I mean, honestly, if that is your only, there is no, hey, do this in a low risk way, then that is a potential solution. It's not what I'd advocate for. But this is why I say it's important to have a goal for something. You do need to qualify what you're doing. Otherwise, you just assume what success means. And in a much more concrete way that's grounded in reality here. If you think about it as like goal, I want to make a game. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Like goal, I want to make money. One solution could be make a game, and another solution could be get hired by a game company. And another one could be get hired by a like general software company, like so that you can make your own business or whatever. Like any of these are valid solutions. These aren't like any, none of these are illegal, none of these are questionable. There are tons of people who've done any of these sorts of things. And that's where it's like, okay, well, do you want to make money making a game? Then okay, the general software company part is probably not going to work until you get to the make your own business part. And I think the same thing kind of holds true for AI. It's like if you want to learn something, you could use AI to help you learn, but you wouldn't use AI to make you like to do it for you. And be like, cool, I learned this thing now. Yeah, it's not work. Yep. This is how I look at a lot of this stuff. Is like, is this the kind of work I want to be doing? No. All right, so the direction names that I want animations to be generated for, these would be taken each, I guess like these would appear in order in the sprite sheet. I may specify these. Okay. So then the tool would find the animation player in the scene, in the specified scene that contains the specified animation, and then create new animations using the directions I specified. As an example, if I had specified idle gun down, as the existing animation in this as the scene and as the directions, it would generate animations for idle gun left down, idle gun left up, etc., just as I actually did by hand in this. Okay, and then scenario 2 is I want to set up a new animation node blend space 2D. The tool would have me specify of a base to use. The tool would make a new animation blend space 2D and then set up animations following the same direction names from the given. As an example, if I had specified this as the scene and idle gun as the base, it would generate, oh wait, and a name of a new, the name of the new node to make. Wouldn't it need to know the animations too? It would. So I did not specify this correctly, huh? It's a slippery slope. You don't want to work at all. So if you had AI just generate money for you, you'd be fine. Yeah, it's become way too expensive anyway. I've been on the $20 a month plan of Claude and the $20 a month plan of Codex, and using it for stuff like this is like perfect. We're gonna probably go through maybe 40% of my 5-hour quota using to like making this tool, and then that's that. Like, I don't plan on doing anything else. Although who knows, maybe I end up making another tool later on because I realized this was insufficient. All right, so the scene, the name of a base node to use, and then the name of a new node. I guess this is not sufficient for what I came up with here. So I'd specify something like walk gun, and then it would copy from the original thing. Idle gun as the base, and what's this new one called? Walk gun. It would generate walk gun just as I've done. Yeah, this. Okay, that's it. Those are the instructions. This was quite a lot to type. So now we make a new thing over here. Click this, click plan, and set this to high. Yeah, done. Okay, so the part that I've never done, I've never made a plugin, and I've never made a tool script myself. Kevin had made one for Skeleseller, and we used it in a couple of places. Well, we used it in several places, but a couple of places as a tool script, I think. So yeah, I don't know what it's going to suggest for this. I'll just let it run. It'll eventually ping me and say that I've got a thing to look through. Yeah, I don't know how it generates IDs either. I didn't even tell it that. They're on that. Would an extra high be even harder? Hey, Pickle. Find a way to make the infinite money. So there are a lot of things in the past where if you had access to a free resource, so let's say you had access to free electricity and compute, or I guess just free compute, you could do like Bitcoin mining, right? So now there was an incentive for people to start stealing compute. You might run some malicious thing on a web page, or you might get someone to install something on their machine. So now it's free for you, right? Again, I'm not advocating stealing, but yeah, if you had free AI, you probably could find a way to make money with it. Like, I don't know exactly how. I guess you could at the very least just offer it as a service to other people now. But probably you could, yeah, I don't know, just run things 24/7 and find some way. I mean, the hypothetical of you're given a resource, now find a way to make money with that resource is not so crazy. All right, how should we handle Godot's normal plugin location conflicting with the repo rule that this is third party only? First party add-on recommended. Treat this one folder as first party editor tooling. Yeah, that's fine. What language should it use? Yeah, C# for sure. What should the tool do if a generated animation or blend space state already exists? Fail by default. Sure, sounds fine. Cool. Not sure if the ways it would find would be ethical though. Yeah, I don't know what it would do exactly. All depends on, I guess, how you prompt it too. Hey, Steph. All right, so something else that's kind of interesting. Godot API XML shipped in the packages under .NET 8. That's fine for planning. I'm reading those docs now for method signatures. Yeah. Something that's kind of interesting here is I wonder how we set this up to use our solution. I think add-ons already show up in here, so I think it should be fine. Like if I search for line presenter, for example, yeah, it shows up. So I don't think there's gonna be an issue there. Yeah, we can see how much quota it's burning through over on this page. Like I said, I think it would use about 40% to make the whole tool, but yeah, let's see. It's taking time to do this. This is like a decently sized thing to tell it to do. But yeah, so if it can do this, then we can just pull in all these other animations super quickly. And for every other sub game, we can pull in all these animations super quickly. So yes, in this particular game, I've got this one character, and hopefully we don't have anything too crazy afterward. But like this is just one sub game with one character. Yeah, what happens when I have the next like farm RPG style thing? I'm like, well, now there's another 6 characters I gotta add. Oh, there's also a shadow. I gotta think of if we're gonna use that. Probably will. I'll write that in polish. Add the shadow graphic. Where is this? Here for right now. Path will probably move, but it's here for now. This isn't done, is it? No, it is done. Oh, how should the tool derive generated animation names from the existing animation names? Stem override. Default is splitting at the last underscore, but expose an editable stem field like idle gun, so multi-word base directions are safe. Keep the UI minimal. Base directions like left down would need manual cleanup or future improvement. Ask for base directions separately. Oh, I see. Yeah, this is fine. Hey, hey, Chat and Adam. Have a behavior interview tomorrow? Thought I had a blog post about it. No, can't seem to find it. I don't think I did about behavioral interviews. I have something in my notes, I think, about this somewhere. Interview? Yeah, something in here. No, I don't have. I don't think I had anything specific for that. What is this? All right, this is stupid. This probably shouldn't be public. It's not exactly private. It's just not helpful information for people. Probably delete this. Man, copy pasting isn't working anymore because everything's always highlighted. There's something wrong in Chrome. Gotta restart it. Yeah, so I don't know if I've I don't know if I've got any notes about it. Honestly, I think my general suggestions are come up with multi-purpose stories to fit like almost to like shoehorn into the answer. I think this is what a lot of people do. So it's like, I don't know, pick like 3 to 7 stories from your career. Maybe it's like a time you helped someone get promoted or you worked as a team or you shipped a product or something. And then when they ask you like, "Oh, hey, what's the hardest technical problem you've had?" You'd be like, "Oh, the ship the product thing. Oh, we didn't have customers and we were struggling and we needed to scale up by 100x." And you just like find a way to fit this to the answer. So yeah. And I think the sort of newbie trap maybe is just answering literally. Probably already know enough not to do this, but if someone's ever like, what's a time you had difficulty working with someone, they don't want to just hear you complain. They want to hear like, what did you do that was constructive, or what did you learn, like how would you approach this in the future? It's not make things up. It's more like, if you come up with a perfect example off the top of your head, by all means share it. But most people aren't going to be able to pinpoint a perfectly salient response to a question that you haven't heard possibly ever. Yeah. All right. So here's the plan. Let's go look at the plan. All right. Build a first party C# Godot editor add-on at SIABT animation tools. I don't know about that. Maybe just animation tools. With an explicit agents.md exception for that folder. This makes sense as a Godot plugin because the work needs live access to scene resources, this and this. Yep. So I wonder how a Godot plugin makes IDs. I'm curious about that. There might be an API for that. Yeah, and if you have any other questions, Aiden, feel free to ask. That's the only thing off the top of my head that I think is worthwhile to talk about here. It's just, prep for it. And by the way, if it's Amazon specifically, like read their leadership principles. They care a lot about that. All right, add this C# tool plugin classes, not including the player runtime builds. Is that done in every script? Like if I go into Rider, I don't have a thing for that, do I? I don't know where this is located exactly. Game add-ons, there it is. Yeah, Rider plugin script. Are these tool scripts? They are. Oh, okay. Sure. All right, where'd the rest of that plan go? Add a dock UI with 2 tabs, directional animations. Where does this go? A dock UI. Huh. I don't know where that goes. I mean, let's find out. Directional animation, scene path, existing animation name, editable animation stem, blend space. Sure. Register the add-on here. Update this. Say it's first party. All right. Tool operates on the currently edited scene. If the chosen scene path is not open, it uses this after mutation. Okay. Scenario 1 finds exactly 1 animation player. Sure, but it was, yeah, containing the existing animation. Sure. Generated names use the editable stem field. Default stem is the existing animation name before the final underscore. That sounds great. This is amazing, by the way. Like I said, I don't want to make this tool, and I wouldn't do these nice little touches of accounting for what if the base was left up and I only split on the last one. So now we have an animation name like idle gun left, right, up, which wouldn't make any sense. Not there yet. Okay, yeah. Well, good luck, nonetheless. I think of all the interviews, the behavioral ones for me felt like they were the easiest, at least once you understand what they're looking for, because all you need to prep on is your own stories. And then, yeah, find out if they're impactful enough. By the way, one of the things that I at least looked for when I was interviewing people is kind of this question. And I wouldn't explicitly ask this. Well, maybe sometimes I would, but like, is the problem you encountered actually a systemic problem? And if so, what did you do about it? So, just as a random example, let's say you were working at some like mega company, and again, I'm just contriving something here, and you say something like the break room runs out of coffee. Like, okay, let's say you say this is a problem, then cool, that's not the only break room at the company. Like, is this an issue everywhere? Is there a way you can solve this for everybody? And while that is a contrived example, there are lots of cases where you might have something like, we made code, but this other team didn't use it because they couldn't find it or something. I don't know. It's like, oh, okay, lack of documentation. This is almost certainly not an issue in just your team. Like once you find out that this is a problem, do you do something about it for the company? And I at least think having that awareness sort of indicates that you're slightly more senior at your job because you don't just care about fixing the problem for yourself. And eventually, I mean, this is sometimes what turns into products. Like, hey, we have this problem. Oh, and other teams have this problem too. Wow, and there's no solution for it yet that spans multiple teams. Let's go make that. Then we can sell it to other companies. Hey, Matt, I hate these questions. I mean, yeah, this is a lot of what gets asked, at least at American tech companies. This behavioral style, like, yeah, how do you solve this problem? It's better than leak code, in my opinion. All right, directional animation generation deep duplicates the base animation, updates resource name, adds to the same animation library, shifts integer keys on the frame value by h frames time direction index. Perfect. Only supports V1 sprite sheet animations with a single integer frame value track. And matching h frames value track on the same node path. Okay, sounds good. Scenario 2 finds the animation tree whose root is that, containing the base state. Creates a new blend space 2D, copies blend space settings, point names, point positions, triangles from the base. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds good too. V1 target sprite 2D frame animations, not frame coords. Frame coords, what is that? Oh, I see. Yeah, I don't care about that. Generated directions appear after the base. One row per direction. That's fine for now, yeah. Connery. Oh man, what kind of interview? I'm sorry to hear that. I feel I would fail hard nowadays. You never know. I was talking to someone recently, a friend of mine. Oh yeah, I remember. They were interviewing, they work at one kind of mega company, they're going to interview for another mega company, and they said that they feel like their interview skills haven't really weakened since the last time they interviewed, which was like 3 years ago. I was like, oh, cool. Especially because they're using AI for a lot of stuff now, so they haven't lost their skills, or they have lost their skills, but they haven't lost their confidence. Technical, just panicked and gave a nonsensical error. I was just saying this earlier, and I don't want to like bring this up by name or by specific problem, but someone else was running through an issue earlier today. And I said, look, the worst case scenario is, yeah, this thing doesn't pan out, but hopefully you learned a lot for next time. And in the panicking case, I think a lot of panic can be avoided with preparation. And presumably during the interview, like how to conduct yourself and how to do so gracefully is also something that you gotta like hone, unfortunately. It doesn't just come naturally all the time. So I wish you luck. And maybe it wasn't as bad as you thought. And maybe they'll give you another shot. Yeah. Kindly asked to stop the interview because I didn't like the questions. Yeah, I think if the questions to me, I think they'd have to be like borderline illegal for me to want to stop the interview or like really uncomfortable. I haven't ever had that experience as far as I recall, which is lucky because I think people have had to go both ways where you're being interviewed and they're asking you uncomfortable questions, or you are interviewing them and they're, well, I guess that's probably less common that they ask uncomfortable questions. Yeah. It probably mostly goes where you're being interviewed. Hey, Adrius. Talk about how you find the answer. That's always been enough for me as an interviewer. Yeah. Sick and completely unprepared. Have nightmares on it now. Oh, man. I know it doesn't mean much, but try not to beat yourself up about that. Hang on. I can talk all I want as soon as I trigger this. I just don't know if I want this to be, yeah, let's just name it that. That's fine. Yeah, sure. This plan sounds great. Submit it. Look at that. Thank you. Yeah, I've had some bad interviews on both sides of the table. I still think the worst as an interviewer is when the person I was talking to, like something was going on. They either had someone else there in the room trying to give them answers, or they were like typing them on their screen. Because I would ask them direct, like easy questions, like, "Why did you just write that line of code?" And they'd stare blankly. And I know for sure it wasn't a confusion or they didn't hear me or something. And I asked again, I'm like, hey, did you hear me? Like, what's the reason you wrote that line of code? And they just wouldn't answer me. And it was a coding interview. It's not like that's out of bounds or something. I'm not like, oh, what grand motivation led you to becoming a software engineer that led to that line of code? It was like, no, just what's the reason behind that specific line of code? Anyway, it was something like that again. I don't remember exactly what this was many years ago, but that was probably the worst interview as an interviewer. And even if they said, I don't know, or, oh, could you repeat the question or something, but they just ignored me. I was like, I've never had that happen in an interview before, where they just choose not to answer. Maybe they're getting fed. Yeah, that's what I thought. Something was fishy about that. And that was like a strong no hire suggestion from me, because I was like, this is just not okay. Like, imagine they're on a job and they just refuse to do work, or they just, yeah. But yeah, on the other side of the table, being interviewed, I think it's the usual like nervousness combined with not being able to think clearly about something. Yeah. I have some specific instances in mind, but they're not really worth sharing more than that. Did I continue the interview? I'd stop it right there and then. I don't think I did, but I think in the back of my head, I just thought this person needs to do insanely well now for me to give them even a no hire recommendation. And it did not improve throughout the interview. Because yeah. We had this guy last week, showed up 15 minutes late, was doing video meeting on phone, standing and hiding in the corner of current job warehouse, spitting out big words whenever asked anything, never really answering example questions. Felt like he was using AI, but on the phone, maybe. Yeah, strange. Strange, strange, strange. I was watching a video, as long as I'm just waiting for this, I might as well just chat for a little bit. But I was watching a video recently about some like mega mansion that someone was touring. There's a YouTuber who's got a bunch of subscribers and he just goes through like rich people properties and yachts and stuff. And this person on their own, the YouTuber is like fine. They're using pretty, I don't know, like super positive language. Oh, this is phenomenal. This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. But then a real estate agent came in and started talking. And this guy, it just felt like he practiced. He started using words like, this is an explosive aspect to this property. And he actually used the word explosive a couple times. And I just thought, all right, it's one thing to say amazing. Like, this is hyping it up too much. And what you said in this message about how, yeah, they're just spitting out big words, it reminded me of this. Like, they've been somehow through their training or through what they've seen work, they're like, this gets results. I got to talk like this. Yeah, the guy was spitting out big words. Yeah, and it makes you wonder, like, you. I guess it's the whole don't judge a fish by its ability to climb. Like, this person is probably effective at their current job, or else how did they get that behavior? How they conducted an interview for was primarily for making media backups via CD and DVD. Interviewee tried to rip an example CD or DVD in two. Huh. I wonder they like part of me thinks that they think it was a joke, but you're a pretty silly joke. Hey developer, what are we learning? Well, I despite my name being Adam Learns Live on stream, it's mostly like Adam does game dev. And right now I'm having AI write a tool that I eventually want to use to handle animations faster. So this is just to save me some clicking. Like right now I have to click this and then go to duplicate and then type in some new things and then change all the frames and then go to the animation tree and click this thing and go edit this hexagon that I have here. And yeah, I don't want to do that. Let's go back to Adam13531. Oh man, I actually did not think of rebranding in that direction because I wanted to drop the numbers, but maybe I should have. Because I worked with the lead for years before and he vouched for me knowing I totally bombed it. Yeah, that's why they say it's more about who you know than what you know, right? By the way, what are these issues? Too many messages? Did I just have this running for too long? Yeah, I might have. It doesn't tell you where this is coming from, though. Because if this is coming from gd.print, then that makes sense. I probably just had this running for a while. And I've since gotten rid of the print messages. Asking about hobbies. I like people that do similar stuff for fun at home. Plus, it helps them open up. Yeah, I think those things are potentially fine. You got to be kind of careful because some of them are probing for like, hey, do you have kids? Like, because if you ask someone, hey, what do you do for fun? And they say, oh, I don't have free time. It's probably natural for you to like, oh, why don't you have free time? And then they're like, well, I have kids. That can start to get tricky because like you don't want to discriminate based on, you know, do they have a family? Are they older? Are they pregnant or something? It's like some of these are protected classes and some of them are illegal to ask about. So I think hobbies, like, it's innocuous enough. I'm sure you don't have a bad intention when you're saying this stuff. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take a quick break now. I'm waiting for this anyway, and yeah, I never wanted my streams to turn into like I'm just using AI nonstop. I wanted it for this tool, but we're almost at the hour mark anyway. So yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll take my break. Is it jump time? It's jump time. So close the game. All right, did this finish? It did finish. I wonder, I should have seen how long it took. I know it says 8 minutes, but I don't remember when we started it exactly. Anyway, whatever. So now we have this thing. How do we use this? Can we just click this? I don't know if we need to reload the whole thing. Dock registration, 2-tab UI, and animation tools dock. Oh, interesting. So it's actually inside of here. I should probably just reload this because I don't see anything. Yeah, I don't see anything. Do I need to reload? Oh, no, it's not on. Oh, cool. There it is. Look at that. SIABT animation tools. How neat. And in the animation tree, we have that too. We don't. Oh, blend space. I see. I see. Okay, yeah, very interesting. All right, let's give this a shot, I guess. Or maybe we should check it in first. Because I don't want to delete anything in the scene. We don't have any scene changes right now, though. I guess that's okay. Yeah, we could just ignore this. And agents MD was modified. The only exception is this, which is first-party editor tooling for this repo. Yeah. All right, let's give it a shot. Yeah, I'm curious about this. So is it always populated with the current scene? That's question number 1. No, but there's a use current button. Okay. So I want to go into animation player and I want to make, what's an animation we actually need? Let's not waste our time here. Does Death have, yeah, Death has all these. Okay. Hey player. Yeah, good afternoon. So we have all the gun ones shooting. How many directions? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8, but we don't have 8 for where you're facing. Do we add in the other directions when we have them? That's question number 1. We have only 6 directions for some animations, but 8 for others. Do we just use 6 no matter what? Or do we use 8 when we have them? Let's just use the 8, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't really seem like it's a bad idea. We're going to be using the full spreadsheet anyway. It's like marginal cost is low. And for shooting specifically, it allows you to maybe aim a little bit better. Okay, yeah, let's try it. All right, so this follows a weird order. It is down, then... Oh, no, it's not a weird order. What am I talking about? It's totally fine. Wait, no. It is a weird order. Yeah, because they skipped left. They put right and left at the bottom. All right, well, let's go get this. Now I want to test this out. So I guess let's duplicate this, and we'll call this shooting gun. Shooting gun down. All right, texture changes to quick load, shooting gun. Can we expand this so I can actually see the names? No, we cannot. Where is it? Oh, it's just shooting. That's why I can't find it. Got it? Okay. Then H frames we set to 8. V frames we set to 8. And the rest of this should be fine. So this should just work, right? Yeah. Pow, 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 pow. All right. So now existing animation, shooting gun down. And now the directions, we got to make sure we do this perfectly. So it is left, down, left, up, right, down, right, left. Full access to Adobe Suite as I need it for my day job. There are many things I genuinely prefer doing in Affinity. I still have not gotten used to Affinity. I just started using it because GIMP was getting exceptionally bad on Mac. Like I ran in these weird freeze states and just I don't know, it was too frustrating. But I got used to GIMP. I did not get used to Affinity yet. So I think if I spent more time learning it, it'd be a better experience. But honestly, sometimes I just want like just MS Paint. I just want to do some like quick image manipulation thing. And I feel like it's a little too hard. Actually, one of the things that bothers me a lot about Affinity is like let's say you drag a rectangle around something. So let's say from here to here. You can't probably see this because I'm covering it. Let me just turn off my camera for a second. All right, so this drives me nuts. So take a look at this. I select 4 pixels, right? It's very obviously selecting 4 different pixels here. And at the bottom right, I don't know if you can see because it's very tiny, it says width is 1 and height is 1. While still selecting the 4 pixels, if I drag the mouse down here far enough, it now says the width and height are 2, but I haven't changed my selection. Why does the amount of pixels it says I'm selecting not reflect what's actually selected? I just don't get it. And then it just blanks itself out at the end. So like now it doesn't look like I have anything selected. But yeah, prior to this it said 1 1. And that makes it really hard for pixel art to be able to tell. Oh, something just crashed. My whole computer crashed. Oh, no, this is just very, very weird. Yeah, something bad's happening now. I don't think it wants me to be zoomed in this far. It's like freezing my entire machine. Uh-oh. Okay, I would like to close this. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, I'm guessing you couldn't hear me for some of that time. That like very much lagged. Wow. All right, so we're gonna go pull in all these, and they need to be comma separated. Yeah. So let's put commas there, and then join all these lines, and then paste this here, and then preview. What does that do? Okay, I mean, sure, that's fine. Let's click generate now. Did it work? Oh my God, look at that. Oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. This is amazing. I didn't have to do any of that clicking. Wow, this is fantastic. Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, we should probably speed these up a little bit, by the way, but I won't do anything there. Where I encounter something I want to do that I find challenging. Yeah, you probably have more experience than I do with this. I think that's my issue, is I just don't know what I'm doing with a lot of it. Okay, so now I want to make an animation tree node, but unfortunately these are both 6 directions, so I can't use those. But that's okay. I don't mind making one new one. We shouldn't have to do this a lot. So I'm going to make this. I'm going to call this shooting gun. I mean, I guess it could just be shooting. It's got to match whatever I did over here, though, right? It doesn't really. I'll just call it shooting gun. That's fine. All right, so done with that. Now we added this. I set this to discrete, and we need to make points for everything. So, oh, and we got to follow the 8-directional stuff, right? Does making a square make the most sense? No, it doesn't, right? Because it's distance from the origin. Don't you have to make a circle? I guess you don't have to. What am I doing right now? So shooting gun down. And this is at 0.3. So let's get all the obvious directions. Actually, let's set it to 0.2 because that's what I've been doing for everything else. Is this also 0.2 here? This is shooting right. Yep. And then up. And then left. Okay, now we need 4 more directions. And we got to position them at the right spots. So how does this work? 45 degrees. Yeah, so it's just sine of 45 degrees. Yeah, this. I think What's a cosine of 45 degrees? Yeah, the same. Yeah. That makes sense. I think we just plug in those numbers and we should be fine. So I just click here and we pick, what is this? Write down and then paste and paste. And then multiply by 0.2. Why does that look so bad? Oh, it moved the wrong point. That's why. I meant to click this. No, that's not correct. Let me think about this. This helped me earlier when I drew a picture, and I'm just going to do this again because I'm an idiot. All right, so we draw a circle, and we have the origin point in here, and we want to go to 45 degrees. And we know that this is supposed to be 0.2. So if we draw out our, I guess our triangle actually ends there. So we do this, it's, or did I do the wrong direction? Sine of 45 is the x divided by 0.2. So I did that. Yeah, I did this. I have a 0.14. Is this not 0.2? It is. Is this not 0.2? I can't even click it because of the name of this. Oh, no, don't do that. All right. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong. It's made to the nearest round number, 0.71. Try changing to 0.7. Oh, when I did this, you're saying? No, it worked just fine. Then I multiply this by 0.2. That part's okay. Yeah, that shouldn't have an effect on it. All right, let's just change these to be 0.3, negative 0.3. Sorry, I know this shouldn't be difficult. Yeah, why isn't this where I expect it to be? Is this a scaling problem? Because these are longer, like the whole graph should be compressed to a square, right? I can't even do that. Can you do this? No. I want to change the aspect ratio of this, but the only way to do that would be to change the scale here. So I guess these turn into squares. They're almost squares. I want to try one more thing. No, I think this is wrong. Huh. Is it okay to use AI to make games or assist you? Is it okay to? I mean, I don't think anyone individually determines that. I think the market as a whole can determine if they're okay with supporting games that use AI. Yeah, I think it's fine. But I know a lot of people don't. So yeah, it all depends on who you talk to, really. All right, I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. Let's just ignore this for right now. Let's add the other one. So right up, and this will be negative. Oh wait, we can't do that there. 14.14. And then this is left down and left up. Okay, so negative. And there we go. And then this one. There. Maybe it's fine. I don't know. Let's just try this out. We'll find out. Point looks to be on the diagonal. The thing that's weird about this, like these still aren't squares. That's I think what's throwing this off. It's maybe more of a square now, although it's harder to tell. I think it's still one away from being a square. There, now I think it might actually be a square. And the easiest way to tell is to do this. We just take half of this and try putting it over here. Wait, did that make sense? I don't know what I'm doing. No, that would always have been the case. Then I should have, no, I know what I should have done. I should have done a quarter of this and checked whether it fit in all of these. No, that also doesn't make sense, does it? It just makes sense if the dimensions check out. Which I don't know why I'm doing it this way, because we have a ruler tool, don't we? I just don't know what it is. Maybe there isn't one. Oh, there it is. Yeah, ruler. Use the keyboard. Hold a 1 or 2 key or an arrow key. Hold the 1 key? What is this doing? Oh, I see. I want to measure. Whoa, neat. This is very cool. It figures out what lines you want to measure. So 193. And this is 176. So it's not correct yet. Yeah. The starting lock. I'm always wary of when someone comes into my stream and immediately lets me know that not only are they game developers, but the name of their game. I don't think it's a good look. I always treat it as like you're here for self-promotion. So maybe don't talk about your own game until you've been a regular here. All right. So I want to go try this out. Let's go into Godot string names. And this one's called shoot gun. Shooting gun. And then we don't actually have a way to do this yet. So I'm going to go add this in here. So I'll just say if input.is action pressed Godot string names dot UI jump. Do we have jump? Jump. Yes, when you press the jump key. Oh, I was talking to you, Nightlight. Yeah. And that's okay, Astonok. Yeah. I appreciate it. All right, so we're going to set the animation here now to this. And the blend position does need to be correct, but it needs to be whatever you were facing. And this could just be direction. Yeah. All right, let's go try this out. So it'll let us move and shoot, but it won't use the moving and shooting animation because we didn't put that in yet. Yeah, I think if you're going to make anything AI, passing it off as your own would be beyond the pale as far as is it okay or not. All right, so all we're trying to do is see, do we have all the different directions here? And it looks like we do. Oh, that looks pretty cool. Yeah, the issue that you run into, though, is once you stop moving, you idle in the direction that you're facing. So we should actually handle this first. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, I think we got to figure this out. Ideally, this like moves between states correctly. And we have a state machine that could handle this. I got to think about how this will work, though. Because over here, yeah, we could start drawing connections between this. Like this could be a condition of, are you moving? And if you're moving and shooting, we go to a different one. I don't like how this turns into a spider web all the time, though. How do you delete this? There we go. I think chess is a great game to get into nowadays. It's made a resurgence. There's always people to play against. So yeah, I got to figure out how we want this to work. Figure out how we want the state machine controlling your actions to work. Like if you're moving and shooting, want to enter that specific animation, which by the way, that animation doesn't even have 8 directions, does it? There's walk while shooting. Do we have left and right? We do. So they don't have idle for that? They don't have idle. with gun animation facing. Oh, maybe because they look the same way until you're shooting. Hmm. Yeah, I think chess would feel more accessible depending on where you live. There's probably a place where Go is more accessible. Although I imagine any country that plays Go also at least knows about chess. But I don't think everyone in the US knows about Go. All right, so we could. Oh, by the way, in terms of quota, I said it would use about 40%. They use like 25, and it seems like it worked pretty much fine. Yeah, they stopped using AI. Backgammon is greater than chess. In my family, there are more backgammon players than chess players, but it's not a very large sample size. I like them both. I don't play either one really. So we could use the animation tree. Um, like I did for the platformer, or we could just mangle booleans in the function for now. Probably gonna do that. But before even doing that, I think I'm just gonna check this in. Actually, no, let's put this here. So we'll have for now is shooting or is attacking. Actually, this is continuous when it comes to using the gun, which is all we really need for now. But when it comes to using the spear, it's not continuous. And actually, the spear attack, I guess you just press once. So is attacking and bool is moving equals this. All right, so I'm just going to use some booleans for right now. So if you are attacking, then do this stuff. And if you're moving, we're going to set your velocity. Oh, I was hoping that would just set it to 0. There we go. Then we could do the same thing down here and set this, but this is only now if you're not attacking. So I can just put this over here. Okay, let's try that. Is it an enumeration or like a cache name? The Godot string names is literally just a static class containing a bunch of string names. Now, you might wonder why do this, and the why is not super clear unless you're familiar with the C# semantics behind doing this. I will show you how this works. So let's say you did something like git node hello world. To like a normal viewer of this, this looks like nothing's being allocated here. In Godot, this string is actually not a string, it is a node path. And node path has an implicit operator here that takes it from a string, and look at this. It makes a new. So it's allocating. And it's just not obvious if you look at this line. Like if you showed this to a random C# developer, they'd be like, yeah, this is just a function call with a string, right? But yeah, this actually makes an allocation every single time you call it. So inside of a function like physics process that runs 60 times per second, you want to make sure you're not allocating like 12 more strings, or else you'll hit a bunch of performance spikes. Yeah. Yeah, so stop using AI. There is one unusual rule in this channel, and it is please don't segment messages. So yeah, try to type things as one. And I know you were responding to me for part of that, so I know it's unavoidable to say whoa, for example. But yeah, the expensive part could be combined. Okay, so yeah, we were gonna try this out. I don't know if I actually did this. Did I? Yeah, this isn't working. Because if I move and shoot, then we get the 8 directions. Otherwise, we don't. Why is it going backwards for this? We set a velocity. If you're attacking, which we should be doing, it sets this to your direction. And this is for the shoot gun animation. Let me try this again. Oh, yeah. No, I understand. It's not first nature for a lot of people. Yeah, so this code isn't being set. So why is the direction incorrect as soon as we stop moving? Actually, it wouldn't even happen from this, right? Huh. I don't understand. Okay, let's try this again. Yeah, I'm trying to see. So the issue that I'm trying to figure out right now is if I face this way and just press shoot, it turns me around. Oh, because we need to know if we're moving or not. Oh, yeah, of course. Oh boy. All right, I don't like this. Yeah. So we paste this here. This is now correct. Yeah, I definitely don't like this. And I'll want to make this a lot better. I mean, in this particular case, we could change this by picking the animation. Like I could just have done this. Is moving, otherwise the facing direction. And then delete all this stuff. Down here, we'd also need to change which animation is being used. So it probably makes sense to split this up into two different ifs. But and now I think we should be good. I just want to get this to a point where it's working and then I can check it in and then we can work on the other animations. Although I probably need to go in about half an hour. Nice. Well, almost nice. When you stop. Oh, wait. Is that what it's supposed to look like? I guess because we have 8 directions, it starts looking like you're... I don't know if I like that. But I don't know what we would do about that. Yeah, that's a little unfortunate. Oh, wait, no. That looks fine. Oh, I see. Oh, it's how we interpret left up versus left. So we need to bias it toward facing downward. Oh my God. Yeah, the principles would mostly be the same. Yeah. Although I do feel the need to tell you, I know your name is Stop Using AI. I do use AI, so just I don't want that to be a surprise to you down the line. But yeah, thank you. Gun cast light during gunshots on the character. Do you plan on supporting that for walls or no? Probably not. I really think because of how many sub games we're going to be making that we just need to keep in mind that just keep it simple. So yeah, this has got to be rule number 1. If we want to add polish later, we can do it in a million different ways. But since a lot of these games are only going to be in for like 5 or 10 minutes, I don't want to go too crazy with it. So yeah, here's the problem that we have. When you are standing around, you only have 6 directions because we don't have sprites for the other 2 directions. So there is no left or right. We skip those, but we have the other 6. So what that means is when you're facing like exactly left, we have to pick one of the 2. Either it's left down or it's left up. So what we actually want to do is bias it more toward facing down, which means moving this down very slightly to like 4, 5. And same thing over here. And I think this will work. So I think this will make it more convincing now in that specific scenario where you're facing left up. I mean, I guess it is more convincing, but it like barely matters. Yeah, it barely matters. The thing I'm trying to avoid here. Oh, I kind of did avoid it just now. Actually, you know what I could have done? I just thought about this. We could have acted like we had 8 directions and just set a couple of them to a different direction, right? Hold on, I didn't think of that. That would have been a lot smarter. So here, what if we just added in left and right and just had them face downward? That'd probably be a lot smarter. Oh, wait, no, that wouldn't work because then you'd interpolate between the 2 positions over here. No, but that wouldn't be... Okay, I should just test this out. Now, there aren't a lot of good vector art programs using Illustrator. It's just what you have. Don't dislike the people, just dislike Adobe. Is this joke lined up? Because I appreciate it. Oh, man. It is, okay. Well, I would have felt slightly more special if it was just for my stream. Okay, I want to try that strategy I just mentioned. Although we should probably do this in a separate commit. So even though we only have 6 directions for animations, we should try acting like we have 8 and then setting left and right to left down and right down. Yeah. All right, well, let's check this in for now because this is looking pretty good. So this I did not have to do myself. I am very, very happy to not have to do that myself. Interesting. The blend position here set to 0, 0. I could have deleted that over there too. This doesn't matter. This is a little bit wonky. I'm not super happy with that. This is all good. This namespace it doesn't like. Does not correspond to file location. Should be game add-ons. Now what? Remove underscores from namespace name. Before I go messing this up, let's go take a look at here. These are all named with hyphens. So how do they make their namespaces? Namespace is yarn spinner Godot. So they just deleted the hyphens and made it camel case. So that's what we did too. Why doesn't theirs produce yarn spinner Godot plugin? Oh, it is yellow. That's a shame. Thought I could make people laugh. Well, yeah, I you don't sound like you're being dogmatic about this, which is good. And you probably will make people laugh, especially if you have a quip about Adobe Illustrator. I just, like I said, didn't want to, falsely advertise because I don't think I heavily use AI, but I've started using it more for this. To tell you a little bit about this project, and for anyone who hasn't seen this, like what game am I making? First of all, it looks like I'm making a top-down shooter. This is what I'm calling a sub-game within Stuck in a Broken Tutorial. So eventually, yes, there'll be enemies here. You'll be able to shoot them. You'll have some upgrades and stuff. But actually, the real game is, it's like an anthology, right? You start and... Is there audio playing for this? I don't hear it, but you guys probably hear it. And it's probably too loud. Anyway, so you're going through a bunch of different games, and the only thing that's really in common is that each of them is a tutorial, and they're broken in some way. So we've done this part already. This game took probably 2-3 weeks to get going. And yeah, the brokenness here is just falling through the world. Anyway, you go through some stuff, and you end up in a farming game. And so now we're on the 3rd version of this. And the reason this is relevant to what I was just talking about is I don't want to make like 20 different games and have to do all of them by hand completely. So yeah, that's why. Oh, we don't have a cheat to get to the new game. I got to do that. Add a cheat to go directly to the top-down shooter. All right, so we're just going to ignore this for now, at least, about the namespaces. Sounds good to me. There should probably be a README in here. Yeah, there should probably be a README in here. All right, I'm just going to tell AI to do it. Add a README to the SIABT animation tools folder explaining an overview of this tool. It should not have any instructions, just the background behind my prompt. Yeah, I just wanted to make some basic file. I'll probably wipe it all out anyway. No ethical consumption under capitalism. Everyone's just trying to get by these days. I don't feel like I can judge anyone for doing what they can. I do advocate for understanding what you produce, though. Yeah, I generally agree. I think with games too, there's something maybe slightly more specific, which is people generally don't approve of using it for what I call creative work. Now you could sort of argue isn't all work creative work, but I guess what I mean is like art, music, sound effects. So yeah, I like using it for tooling, really like grunt programming work. I think that's pretty much it. And like research and finding bugs, that sort of thing, which I kind of sometimes consider grunt programming work depending on the work. But yeah, we have only human artists. I will make all the music myself and I'm doing it by hand. And sound effects, I'm just using one asset pack for now, which as far as I know is completely human made. And same thing for ideas and game design. Like I feel like the game probably would be better if I was like, hey, here's my idea. How can I make this even better? And I kind of want to try that at some point, but I feel like that would be sacrificing some of what makes this interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Now this readme won't load. Why is that the case? Because what, this isn't included in the animation tool talk? No, wait, what? Why is that the case? Do I need to include this in solution items somewhere? We have this readme. How did this one make it here? Because we have a different CS proj file? Did this come with a CS proj file? No. So this just isn't indexed by anything, but it is technically ours. So I think we should add it to the solution maybe. Maybe we just make another folder here and say something like SIABT animation tools. And then can we just do add-ons? No, it's game slash add-on. Isn't add-ons capitalized? Apparently not. Slash SIABT animation tools. I don't know if that's enough to get this to work. There's an art YouTube called Brad Culvo. Made a video about art and AI. Very interesting. What was the summary? What kind of AI am I using? Is it agentic? Hey, Train. Yeah, I'm using Codex right now. And yeah, thank you. Stop using AI. I tend to stream Monday through Friday, but Tuesdays and Thursdays are usually just half days in the morning. And as an idea of what time it is, for me, it's 3:14 right now. 3:14 p.m. So yeah, for Skeleseller, and I had an AI disclosure for Skeleseller, I rarely used agents. And in fact, one of the biggest things I used an agent for, I just deleted from the game completely. But I did use autocomplete. I don't want to code without autocomplete, and AI is just better autocomplete at this point. All right, so does this work? It does not, because you can't do file path. Is there like folder path? No. All right, we should figure out how to get this in here. Can't you just right click something if I go to file system? Game add-ons, this. Right click. There's something you do to include this. I don't remember how. There's exclude. Okay, so maybe I delete this first and then go to include. Because I didn't form this correctly. Edit. No, there's just exclude. What? This doesn't show in the solution view, does it? Oh, there it is. Well, why? What? There are only 3 files there. Why can't I see the README in this? Maybe I just need to explicitly include that too. All right, well then fine. I'll just go explicitly include it. So game add-ons, SIEBT, animation tools / README. All right, now I should be able to navigate to it. Yeah, finally. All I want to do is read this. And I want to join this and this and this and this. And then I want to read them. So it uses Godot Animation Player and Animation Tree resources for character animation, which gives a good runtime behavior. I'm just deleting all this. I don't care. I just want to write down. I had a couple of scenarios that I was being driven insane by doing repeatedly. Adding animations to an animation player. For example, I would have walk up and need walk right, walk down, and walk left. I simply don't want to modify a .tscn file by hand or click a billion things in Godot. And then adding, what are they called? Like blend nodes in an animation tree. For example, after making all of those walk star animations, I would then need to draw a little picture. That's not clear. I then need to draw a little graph indicating when to use each direction. This I haven't tested myself yet. Give me a take on some pointers the defenders of all AI were making. Yeah, I think if I were to boil down what my entire take is, which is in that video, it's AI is a tool. AI is generally a good tool. So some people argue, oh, it doesn't actually improve productivity. I definitely find that it improves my productivity. And that AI has to be used in a responsible way, and this can be expanded in several different ways. Like if you're learning, you don't just use AI to go do the thing for you and then say, yeah, I learned that thing. So that's irresponsible. And also it's probably not responsible to go send like 10,000 agents to go fix a small bug. Just from a resource perspective and impact on the environment, I think that would be bad. So yeah, this is my very short take of my thoughts on AI. Okay, I had AI write this tool. It did so quickly and seemingly correctly, and is already saving me time. So great. Now let's go continue to look through all of this stuff. I don't think we have anything questionable so far. Nope, nope, nope. Yeah, I just got here and then. So I do want to take a look at how is it generating IDs for these. So if we go into the scene, I just had it generate shooting gun left. Yeah, it came up with JBots. How does it do that? There must be an API I can call into. There's probably a way to do this. I need to look through all this. They can do it faster at a cost of many dead dinosaurs. Well, and in some cases too, it's like it can probably do it faster and more efficiently than you can. It's like cruise control in a car. Like you can press the gas pedal yourself, but you'll never be as efficient as cruise control. At least my understanding is that. Maybe that's not even correct. Like I recognize not a one-to-one comparison. Just an example of where a machine could be more productive than you. So yeah, I'm not going to go looking through all of this. This is just a tool to run locally. It seemed to work. If it doesn't work, like I'm not going to match code style and stuff. Well, actually, if I just hit save on this file, shouldn't it match automatically? Like I make some random change here and then hit save. Yeah, maybe that's the extent to which I'll do this. Yeah, I'll just type a space and then save. Because there are only 3 files, right? Yeah, done. All right, so what I did want to look into is where do we add, let's just start at the beginning. So the doc has a button. The button is generate. We call this run directional apply true. Directional preview, run in format, generate directional animations. Yeah, here. So we have to go through each of the generated names at some point. This is a list of strings. We have to come up with an ID. Add animation. I guess that does it. What is this? Godot animation library? Where did that thing come from? Player match? Sure. So add animation must do it then. Yeah. That must generate the ID for us. That's cool. Powered by a nuclear reactor, not a 12-volt battery. Yeah, although you can use local models. I actually just installed a llama myself and I was just messing around with stuff. I didn't do very much with it and I don't know how good it is for coding. But like that was just running on my own machine. So if that could solve a task, it can't really be that bad because my machine doesn't use a lot of energy. Got to run. All right, take care. Yeah. All right, neat. Yeah. So let's go check in all of this stuff and all of this. And then the new animation that I added, where is that? God, it's kind of a pain to find this every time. Here, and then shooting, was it? Attack, I guess? Gun? Yeah, so I want to delete all of this. Good. Now we go find that remaining one and check that in. And should be nothing else. Yeah. So add shooting animation. Well, add animation tool. This commit also adds an animation. That's kind of stupid, isn't it? Yeah, it's kind of stupid. I shouldn't do that. I should just check in the tool. Had AI write a tool that was causing me to spend a ton of time performing tedious tasks. Great. So now we go check in all of these. Add shooting animation. It doesn't actually fire bullets yet. Yeah, it doesn't actually fire bullets yet. But we have the animation. Okay, so what I'd like to do, we have 10 minutes left. I'd like to add in like another couple animations from this pack that we know for sure we're going to need. So we have walk while shooting. Let's use this. So I'm going to go into the animation player. And we're going to get walk gun down. What's this one called? Walk shooting. Duplicate. Walk shooting down. All right, we get a new texture. How many animations are in this? Let's just delete everything else that we have here. Oop. We have 8. Sounds good. And what's it called? Walk shooting. Did I already do this? I don't recall. There we go. Set V frames to 8. No, not 98. And there we go. So that's done. So now I want to pick walk shooting down. Hopefully those are all fine. I'll just click generate. Did it work? No. Oh wait, no, it just took some time. And then maybe I need to reload the scene. No, I don't see it. Huh. Wonder what happened. I wonder what happened indeed. Maybe the add-on does not like it when you do this twice. No type for path. That shouldn't be needed anymore. Probably just clear that. Let me load up the scene again. Huh, yeah. I can't use this a second time? I mean, look, AI already saved me a bunch of time here. But I'd like to be able to click that a second time. So scene, use current, existing animation, walk, shooting down. And then the directions we had in here somewhere. Where did they go? There it is. Preview, generate. Yeah, it looks like it didn't work the second time I'd done this, but here it looks like it was fine. Did they look good? I gotta load it through here for it to work. Walk shooting left, looks good. Walk shooting left down. Yep, let's just try it in the game. It's probably faster. All right, now the next thing we can try is this blend space one. So use current scene, base shooting gun on walk shooting preview. Does it work? Did it work? Did it do it? Oh my God, I think it did. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. Yeah, wow, that's fantastic. God, that just saved me probably like 4 minutes of just clicking buttons nonstop. So walk, shoot, gun. is walk, shooting, gun. And now in our player scene, if I could find it, there it is. So we have is attacking. We want to pick the animation based on whether you are moving or not. So I guess let's do the same thing we had below. So is moving is here, and else copy this, paste, delete this. This will never be true, and this will always be true. And there we go. Let's go try it out. Nope, other way around. There. All right, so if you're walking, we're fine. If you're shooting, and now if you're walking and shooting, oh, that messes up completely. Why? Walk, shooting, left, down. I want to make sure all these are good. I thought I just tested in the game. These all do look fine, though. That's right. Right down. I'll just click these. I don't need to click the animations, right? Yeah, okay, so all those are good. So the tree might have messed up. Shooting left, down. These are named correctly, and they're using the right nodes. This is set to discrete. Walk, shooting. Oh, it's just walk, shooting. That's why. I typed the wrong thing. Also, it said that in the errors. I just didn't look at the error. I mean, it didn't take me too long to figure out. Yeah. Nice. Okay, so now we can walk and shoot, but we cannot change the direction that you're facing while shooting. This might actually be desired behavior, except that it looks hilarious to watch them walk like that. Like, this looks good. This looks funny. I think this is the behavior you would want, although, like I said, I unintentionally did this. But the animations all look great. Yeah, so I don't know whether we should make this like a twin stick shooter or what. I kind of want to keep this behavior with strafing. But I think you'll mostly just like, you'll just face right and then do this and just kill everything, right? That's why we need enemies to appear from behind you too. I don't know how we want to do that. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind keeping this behavior, but one thing we definitely can't keep is when you start shooting, it makes you face left, or sorry, right for some reason. Why is that happening? So if you're not moving, we do this. And we pick the direction you were already... Oh, this is wrong. I see. But now we're not going to have that strafing behavior. Yeah. Which is also kind of cool. I don't know which one's better. Does anyone want to chime in? Like, I know the game doesn't actually exist yet, but like, should you be able to... Should you be able to just always shoot where you're facing? It'd make it harder to like back up. We'll probably just need to try them both. Yeah, we'll just need to try them both. This is so cool though. It's fun working on a new game. I think we'll also need to speed up the shooting animations. Or base it on your attack speed. Maybe. Maybe. Have a lock button. Yeah, and I don't want to get too extreme with this. Like, I want the general difficulty of the game to be low and the complexity of the game to be pretty low too. So yeah, we could have a bunch of mechanics. You could have like dashing and you've got to dodge enemies and stuff. I think that's probably a little too tough for the target audience I'm trying to hit here. And this is a really well done sprite. I like the light effect that they've added. Yeah, very neat. And like I said, it was super easy to add this in. So the way we would fix this is by deleting this, setting, wait. Yeah, we just set this back to here. This is how we get it to strafe. So we could just base this on whether you're holding another button. Yeah. Yeah, we could do that. Hey, EB. I always try to keep the today command up to date. So always feel free to type that when you first enter if you want. Or if you want, you can go to this URL and it'll always be the up to date today command if you don't feel like typing it in chat. With that said, today we started working on the top-down shooter and it's been going pretty well. I'm gonna make a const bool strafe while shooting equals true. And do one of these. And this is hopefully correct, right? Hey, Vicente. If you reverse the frames of animation on locked mode, may avoid moonwalking. Oh, interesting. I mean, it does look pretty funny. But yeah, you're right. I wonder if we'll keep this behavior in the game though. I think we should probably turn this off for now. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I'll turn this off for now. If we ever want this in, we'll need to reverse the animations to avoid moonwalking. Actually, this is kind of dumb. I shouldn't put this directly in the code. I should just do this here. Consider whether we should add strafing. The code would be this. We would also probably want to reverse the direction of the animation to avoid moonwalking. All right. So yeah, let's turn this off for now. I'll just go delete all this. Yeah, whatever. Strafing. So we're going to just treat it like it's false. Good. Let's go check it in. Add a bunch of animations that need to touch a thing. Loving it. And then that stuff. Yeah, looks good. All right, so all the code is fine. And then we have, what is it? Walk while shooting. Yep. Add walking while shooting. I might as well publish this branch. Push. That worked, right? Yes. Okay, so what other animations do we know for sure we're going to need? I don't have a lot of time left. In fact, no, I don't have any time left. Sorry. I've got to go. Okay, today has been great though. I know the overall progress, I'm going to wrap this up fast. I know the overall progress doesn't really look like a lot, but from the main game, you're able to enter this. And actually, if we like finish the farming game, we should just be in this game. And yeah, that's all we got. You can idle, you can walk, you can move in 8 directions, you can collide with stuff in the world. There's no shooting yet, there are no enemies. We'll start working on that stuff later in the week. I think by Wednesday we'll have something that kind of looks like a game, and then there will be a lot of other work we need to do still. But yeah, feeling pretty good. All right, I'm gonna go raid somebody. I probably will not be able to stick around to actually watch the raid. My goodness. Okay, let's go raid this person. Matthew. I don't know if I've raided them. I must have raided them before. Yeah, I must have. All right, take care, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow. It'll just be a morning stream. Sorry to dash. Yeah, schedule issues. Take care. Bye, everyone.